Hi folks, this is Praveen Kumar from Global Customer Support Informatica. Today we will see how to restore a corrupted Informatica installation at file system level with the help of an installer. The presentation in here is applicable for 9.5 versions of Informatica Power Center. In this presentation, we will discuss topic as shown on the screen. We will begin with some symptoms of file system corruption. How do you confirm if it is really a file missing or corruption issue? What are the sources from where you can get the binaries and resolve the corruption issue? A quick step-by-step demo on how to get a corrupted installation back to a running state. And what are the additional considerations you need to make while following this procedure. So, how do you know that your files are missing or corrupted? There are different cases. You may come across one or multiple of these symptoms. Your node is not coming up and the Tomcat logs are not getting updated. This is case where your Java program itself is not loading and preventing whole process from coming up. The second case is where your node is not coming up with a java.lang unsatisfied link error with pmjrepen not able to load. Whereas there is other possibilities where node is up but the RS, IS and PMDTM may have issues while coming up. This occurs when few binaries could not be loaded from the Informatica server bin directory. Some files of your binaries may get deleted and count of the files is different from the actual existing count. This could be because of disk issues where the file could not be read correctly, and the count of files varies from version to version, hotfix to hotfix, and some binaries could be different as you may have installed EBFs provided by Informatica. So now let's see what are the most possible reasons of this corruption. Your file system disk may have some issues due to which file may get corrupted, accidental deletion of file by the user, unintentional command or task script which may have been run and if the script contains an rm or del commands. Few times some third-party applications and security scanner may cause deletion of files too. Okay, now let's have a quick demo on how to recover from a corrupted installation using the platform specific installation folder. Let's have a quick demo on this. For simplicity and for demo purpose, I have actually created a scenario wherein my server bin directories contents are deleted, and I can see that this particular log of Catalina shows me this error. As you can see, there are a lot of java.lang unsatisfied link error, no pmjrepen. So libpmjrepen is a kind of native library which is available in server bin, and as I have deleted the server bin directory contents, this server is not able to come up properly. Okay, so first things first, I need a way to come out with my existing configuration. Okay, so the first thing I would do is I would take backup of certain files like nodemeta.xml, server.xml and key store files. Okay, so as you can see, I have created a recovery folder in my home and I have moved these nodemeta.xml and server.xml to that recovery folder file. Okay, in case you have a key store file created for HTTPS, you may have to move it as well. And this is my Informatica home folder. So to be on safer side, I am actually taking a backup of the whole folder right now. I have already copied the tar file in my home folder, so I'm just going to go there and untar it. So I'm untarring it to a infa 951 installer folder which will be created in my home directory as well. Okay, so the unjar task is done. Let's get into the folder and start the installation. Okay, so let's run the install script then. Okay, so now we need to follow the normal steps which you would follow for a new installation. Okay, and I would say I want to go for install or upgrade Informatica. The installer I'm using is for 951HF3. You may use your specific installation for your own platform. This is for Linux. So I'm skipping this i9pi tool. So I'll select console mode to continue. So I'm of course going to select the option 1. Okay, so I've already placed the license key at the same location with the same name, so I'm going to choose the default. You may have to give your appropriate path for the license key. And this is my Informatica home where I want to do the installation. I have already renamed the existing info home to a backup folder name. Okay, it just checks the required disk space. I'll just press enter to continue, and now it started to copy the files which are needed for my installation to run. So this may take up a long time. So now once you reach at the step wherein it asks you for whether to create a domain or join a domain, you can just press Ctrl C so that we will stop the installation here, as we got what all files and the configurations we needed to set up the Informatica. Now you need to move your node.xml, your key store if there any, and the server.xml to their appropriate locations. So the config directory and the logs directory won't be created, so you would have to go and create one for yourself and copy the normal.xml to the config location under ISP. So I am creating a logs directory for the services. You may also fetch your previous backups ISP logs folder and place it over here. Okay, so we are all set to bring up the services now. So let's go to the info home and bring up the services. And here we go. So let me see how it loads on the browser now. The first startup would normally take time, as it has to deploy all the war files into their respective folders. So let's see how it loads if the admin console process has started loading. Okay, so the port has been redirected properly. Okay, so the admin console has come up. And I can also see that apart from the node process, I can see my PM server, a PM rep agent is also up and running. Okay, so this means my restore operation was successful. Let's have a look at the admin console status of the services. And okay, so we see when the integration service is up. Fine. So let's get back to the presentation, and here is the briefly description of steps we have followed so far. Monitor and working towards the root cause is something which you may need to fix. So now coming to the additional considerations. If the node meta.xml is corrupted or missing, you would need to decide if you want to define the gateway or the worker node again. If the domain DB is corrupted as well, you need to completely redefine the domain. I recommend using a fresh installation instead, unless you have a recent domain backup which you can restore, and run the update gateway node command on it. No matter how we are recovering, the actual root cause is how the file got deleted. Find and fix the cause to avoid down scenarios in future. You may have to additionally install the plugins like SAP RFC etc., which you need to reinstall and configure in order to make sure your plugin specific sessions run correctly. Same rule applies to all your custom transformations Java libraries if you are using any to be loaded accordingly. You should also make sure that you install all the EBFs which have been installed if you have any. Apart from this, you may have to do some IDQ specific. If you are using IDQ in your environment, then you would need to do this address doctor content files, identity population files, and the infra home services folder to be populated accordingly. So you can refer the KB 152304 and Informatica installation and configuration guide to follow the steps to do the installation in console mode. So we would love to hear from you. You can reach us on the given links on the screen, and thank you for being on time. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.